Hello everyone, welcome to day 6 of our online handball coaching seminar. Suggest we just wait a minute more so more people can join, then we start, okay? Okay guys, so welcome again, day 6. Today Mats Olsson is with us. He will be having his topic on the goalkeeper coaching. He will tell you more about it, but let's just go over the basic like every day. You have interpreter in the background, so he will help you out. And please, when we come to the break in the halftime, ask the questions, write them in Q&A section or in chat. Mats will try to answer it all during the break, and the same we do in the end. Okay, thank you for your attention, and Mats, you can start now. You can take over.
Okay, thank you. Let's see if we can start up with the video also. And I should share my, I want to share this one with their one. There. I hope that everything is working now as it should be.
All good.
All good. Yes, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, good. Thank you for the invitation and welcome everybody, and nice to have you there on the other part of the world. I'm sitting right now in Spain where I live, and normally, as you know, most of you know, I work in Norway and a little bit in Sweden. I've been working also. I stopped with the Swedish national team now in January after the World Championships in Egypt. But I'm working with a Norwegian team, Elverum, and also with a female team in Norway, a part that I'm giving lectures for the IHF and AHF. So, but I remember I've been in contact with some of you before in Bahrain, example this, I think it was more or less 10 years ago that I was visiting Bahrain. And something has happened since then. We have developed, everybody. And today we can look at once again a little bit about the goalkeeping and the coaching about in the goalkeeping, the education and basic concepts in a different way, as I call this seminar. So let's start. I can start with this one. I think you all know the guy on the photo, Arpad Stervik, one of the best goalkeepers all over the time. In one interview that was giving in a Spanish newspaper, Marca, when he finished to play, he said this one, that he said, if you see how the back players are throwing now at 120 kilometers per hour, it is very difficult to react to one of these shots. You must be a mentalist. To be a goalkeeper is more of the head than anything else. There are people faster than me with a better reaction and a more athletic body. But the head tells you where it goes, to which side, at what moment. So what I put here in darker black, it's the most important thing, that what he's saying. And that is not only he who is saying this. He said it in the paper, but this is the key point for to be a good goalkeeper, to have a good head, to know, to read the game, to see where the ball is coming. Because like he said, in 120 kilometers, I have in other parts when I talk about this, there's not enough time to react. It's not the time to move after the ball has been leaving the hand, and then that the goalkeeper should move to try to save the ball. So we have to do other things to be a good goalkeeper. We have to be, like he says, a little bit of mentalist. We have to be there to read the game and read the shots and read the body language of the shooter. And that is one of the biggest things for us as a goalkeeper coaches, to try to help the goalkeepers to see that one. And that one is also why a lot of times the most experienced goalkeepers are the best ones. I'm working, for example, with my Norwegian female team, with Katrine Lunde, who is, for example, in the last Olympics in Tokyo, she was number one, not only elected by the International Handball Federation, she was also number one in the percent of saves during the tournament, and she is 41 years old. She's not the most fittest girl now, but even if she's very good trained, physically, tactically and everything, but the experience that she's having is that she can read very well where the ball is coming. And that is a big advantage. And what we are trying to do, that we should not need to be 35 to 40 years to have this experience. What we have to do is try to help the goalkeepers in younger ages to reach this level. And that's a little bit what I am going to talk a little bit about today, a little bit how could that be possible to help the younger goalkeepers to develop quickly. So if we look at this picture, we just see a ball. And when we see that ball, now this is in two dimensions, we can't see anything where the ball is going. There is no, if we just look at the ball and we just concentrate on the ball, we don't have any signals as a goalkeeper. If we say to the goalkeepers that you should look at the ball, this is what they are looking at. And they don't know if the ball is going to the left or to the right or up or down or backwards or forwards. If you concentrate just on the ball, you don't have enough stimulus to see what's going to happen. So even if we put in a body in black and white in this guy, in this, without any face and nothing, at least we can read something. We can look now at the hand of the body, and we can look at the shoulder, and we can look at the left hand, and that the body is coming towards me. And I can look a little bit, and I could be concentrated without knowing too much more about where the ball is coming to go. Because I can read a little bit of the left hand, the left shoulder, the right elbow, and it gives me some signals to where this player is going to do, what he's going to do. And this is the interesting part, that we have to work with the goalkeepers or try to help them. What I will do today is that I want to put some my opinions and a little bit way that I want goalkeeper coaches to think about how to train the goalkeepers. And this is not just one way to do this, but I hope that I will put some things into your heads or something that you can think about in your trainings when you're training goalkeepers, that it's not only shooting and try to save the ball. That is what this part is going to happen, what we will talk about. So if we look in the younger ages, this is very important for me. I found this this photo before another speech I made for, I think, 1 year ago. And it's two guys playing handball. One is goalkeeper and one is a player who's coming to shoot. And this is very important for me, that in the younger ages, the goalkeepers and the players should play handball. We should, if you want to be a good goalkeeper in the future, we should not be there too early as a goalkeeper trainers and goalkeeper coaches to learn them exactly how to do the technique. it's very important in these younger ages. I will explain it later on, that it's important for the goalkeeper that will be the future goalkeepers, that they can be learning a little bit about the body language and in the level that they are playing. If I, as an expert, to say somewhere, or as an adult, is coming to tell this goalkeeper how he should do and which technique he should use, I will destroy something about his own mindset, how to read and learn about the ball. So in these younger ages, it's very important that we don't interfere too much in the way of the tactical or technical work. I will come on later on with that. But in the same time, it's very important that we, after this stage, try to learn the goalkeepers, that they should work for the ball and for the arm to read the players. Because if we don't show them, or we show them too much techniques without any tactical work, this will happen. We will have a goalkeeper that is just opening up and try to be as big as possible to try to save the ball. What I'm showing here on the down to the right with the green and black is a goalkeeper I don't like, but a lot of goalkeepers is playing that way. And why is it playing like that way? Because this goalkeeper maybe has learned to be as big as possible, or learned some kind of technique that he or she should use in a specific situation. But he is not concentrated on the ball. He's concentrated just to make his movement and then hope that the ball is hitting him. That is the big fault a lot of goalkeeper trainers are doing, trying to learn the goalkeepers to do techniques without any basic behind it, where the ball is going, or use the brain. So I like this one. This is Halilovic. The photo is a little bit old, it's from 2012, but it's a good photo from the Olympics in London. Halilovic, the Croatian goalkeeper, is making here a save when he's acting against the shooter in the right way. You can look at his eyes, you can look at his movement, that he's going for the player. Not as we saw in the other one. Here we can see in this photo, on this picture, a goalkeeper that is just making movements. And in this one, we can see a goalkeeper that's really using his technique and the tactic to go against the player when shooting. And this is the way that we should learn from the basic, when we see up to the left with the shooter and the younger guys are playing handball, until the senior level. This is a little bit about what I will talk about today, how this development is, in my opinion, the way, what are the pillars are, how we can develop the goalkeeper in a different way from most are thinking today. A lot of goalkeeper trainers today are thinking about especially technique and physical training. It's important, yes, but depends on which level we are. We are talking about the technique, and which level we are talking about the physical training. So for me, it's very important to use the tactical training and the strategies for the goalkeepers. And the basic is that the goalkeeper should learn from the beginning by himself or by herself how to play as a goalkeeper. Okay, another picture, and then we can think about how, what is the life of a goalkeeper? If I should be a goalkeeper coach, some of us that is working with the goalkeepers has been goalkeepers. Some of us have never been in the goal. But here I will tell a little bit how it is life of being a goalkeeper. If you look at the picture up to the left here, this is one thing that is still happening in handball. Less and less for every day. But this kind of shots, from long distance shots, where I have to read as a goalkeeper my defender and the shooter. And I have to take a strategic decision, tactical decision in the goal where the ball is coming. If it's coming to the left, to the right, up or down, I should take a lot of information in this moment. Which defender is helping me? Is there any defender helping me? Is the shooter taking the shoulder forward, backwards? the elbow, the ball, what is he looking at? It's a lot of information for me as a goalkeeper in this picture. So that is one of the big things for the goalkeepers. But in the same way, I can tell you, and all the statistics from Olympics, World Championships, European Championships shows that today we have less shots from long distance. Every day, every tournament is having less shots from long distance. Why? Simple. The players and the coaches today want to go to the 6 meter line to shoot. The efficiency from the long distance shot is not good enough. If you have a good defender and even if you are good shooters, maybe you can reach 55% of the shots from the long distance is going to go. But the wing shooters, the 6 meters players, the breakthroughs, the counterattacks, the percentage of scoring is higher. So the coaches don't want really too much shots from long distance. That's one of the things. And also the development of the players and the development of the rules. Today, the rules are clearly friendly for the attackers. As a defender, it's more complicated to be a defender today than for 10 years ago, because a lot of breakthroughs and so on will be punished if you touch the player. So you have to be a very good defender today, and it's in some way easier to go nearby to the goalkeeper and shoot. So this situation where we have a defender helper, it's still there, but every day is less and less in these moments. Up to the right, we have a wing shooter, Alexander Blons, Norwegian player who today is playing at Pick Szeged in the Hungarian league. And if you look at this player, this is one normal. No, it's not normal. He's a good player. But this is a normal situation for a goalkeeper against a good wing player, to try to read the movements from this player, try to read what he's going to do with his hand, with his arm, and how the ball is coming to me. That is one thing that is very complicated today, trying to read out where the ball is coming, to read where he's going to shoot. If you look at this one down here is Luca Valou. Everybody knows him, I think. French player, and we all know that Luca Valou is called air, that he's jumping and he's for a long time in the air. And it's very complicated because he has physical strength in the legs and the time that he is in the air to win the position against the goalkeepers. And he's moving in the air maybe 2 meters, 3 meters. And it's also complicating the life for the goalkeeper. So these three parts is with a tactical strength and what have to read. And the fourth picture that I'm showing is Arnold Palmarsson. And he's representing the shooters that is shooting very hard, like Arpad Sterbik said in the first one, 120 kilometers, almost without moving the body, just using a little bit of his arm and the shoulder, making very small movements, and then he's getting high speed on the ball, and that is making also life very complicated for the goalkeepers. High speed balls, players that is jumping a lot of time in the air, moving in the air 2 meters, 3 meters, players that is very complicated to read the technique they're using, try to see where the ball is coming, and the old way that we always have as a goalkeeper, trying to read the situation between the goalkeeper, the defender, and the shooter. This is the normal life of a goalkeeper, what we are seeing in this picture. And how do we develop? How do we train to try to stop this? In my way, sorry, I should have some water. In my way, if we start to look at this, the goal is still 6 square meters, 2 meters per 3 meters, 6 square meters. And that will always be like that. It has always been and will always be like that. The game is developing, but we are not changing the goal. But if we want to work with the goalkeepers, we can work it in 2 ways. We can work it this way. It's, if we like flowers, this is roses, red roses. Some of us is giving this sometimes to people, then they're having birthdays and so on. But they are very nice. But why am I showing roses when you're talking about goalkeepers? I want to show you another picture. I want to show you this also. This is different flowers. And this is what we call in Europe a summer bouquet. When you buy some flowers in the summer, we make it with a lot of different flowers. And this is for me very important because I like to work with these metaphors. For you, it's easier to remember what I'm talking about when you think about pictures. And if you look at the left picture with the roses, this is the problem that a lot of goalkeepers, trainers, and trainers are doing. We are not taking any difference between a small rose and a big rose, or the roses in between. I compare a rose with a goalkeeper. So what is happening? A lot of times, a goalkeeper that is 170 is coached and trained equal as a goalkeeper that is 2 meters. Or we have a goalkeeper that is 180 or 190. It doesn't matter if they're women or men. I use the same methodology to work with the both genes. So it's no problem for me to work with women or with men. But the problem for me is when we don't look at the specific parts of the goalkeeper that we have in my hands to work with. If we don't let them be a flower, my work as a goalkeeper coach is to try to help the red one to be a good, the small red one to be a good goalkeeper, the big white one to be a good goalkeeper, the blue one in the middle to be a good goalkeeper. But I will have to work with them differently. I can't work with them with the same way with a goalkeeper that's 170, that is 190 or 2 meters. I have to know that I can use different techniques and different tactics. So that is one of the important things when we are talking about training goalkeepers. If we want to do that, everybody should be looking like this. This is not a good picture. I don't like this one. Why do I don't like this one? Because here someone I put up on the internet how a goalkeeper should be standing exactly. Maybe this is good for some ones that want to be good goalkeepers. This is not good for everybody. Everybody don't need to have this position. And a lot of times I can see a lot of goalkeepers standing too much with their arms up in the air. Why? I can understand it when we are talking about high-level goalkeepers. They're playing like Arbat Stervik and the Alilovic and the goalkeepers we will see here, that they're playing against shooters that are playing very, very hard, and it's no very short time to react. But if we are playing in lower level, we don't need to have this position of the goalkeeper. And we should not work that everybody should have this position. This is not a good option for me, my point of view. Because if you look at this, one of my goalkeepers that I've been working together with for a long time is Andreas Palicka, the goalkeeper of the Swedish national team, who was playing excellent in, for example, in Egypt. He is playing excellent for a long time, and he is not the goalkeeper that could be a rose. If I have been training him, as a lot of goalkeeper coaches want to train, everybody goalkeeper should be put in the same way. Palicka has never been a good goalkeeper because Palicka is like this white flower here in the middle. He's different, or he's like this, the blue one. He's different. He's making his movement totally different, and his positioning in the goal is totally different. What a lot of books or what a lot of people are saying our goalkeeper should act. So that is my work to try to help him to develop the best out of him, to be the best out of him in his way of playing. And that's for me is the most amazing part to be a goalkeeper coach, to help the goalkeepers in a different ways to try to be the best possible in their way. So we can't put them everybody in to be in the same way like this guy. Nobody could be. For some goalkeepers, this could be a good position, But for example, for Palika, this is not a good position. And for a lot of other goalkeepers, it's not a good position. But in the same way, I have to say there are some things that we have to cut out of the flowers. Some things that is not so good, is not efficient, and is not sometimes losing the tactical work or the technical work. We will talk a little bit about this a little bit further on, but it's important also to take away some parts. I've done that also with Andreas Palika and with all other goalkeepers I work with. I take away some things that I think is not efficient. Some techniques that is not efficient. They are not having a good response on these techniques or the tactical work they are doing. I can see it, I can read it by statistics and so on. I say, this is not so good. We try to take it away. We put this in and we work with this way. So we can also say that it is some parts that we should take away. To begin with, I want to show you this. This is another goalkeeper that I've been working a lot with, Mikael Appelgren. Also with the Swedish national team, and right now injured. He's not been playing for almost 1 year because of a shoulder injury and a knee injury that is apart. But he will be coming back. And as you can see on this picture, this is what I propose to all my goalkeepers when they start, especially the younger ones. This position is for me the ground position that I want all the goalkeepers to start with, to try to start with. And I call this the boxing position. That's why you're having Muhammad Ali there as also a picture. Maybe the best boxer all over the world in all the times. But he is a good picture. And if you look at everybody, the boxers in the world, they are having this ground position when they are standing. Why do they have it? Okay, they are using this to defend themselves and to act. But I think this is a good position also for the goalkeeper when they are moving around in the goal. Not to have the arms up in the air, because when you're having the arms up in the air, when you are, you're not having a full body control, you are having problems to see what is really happening, because you have to concentrate too much on your body to move around. So for me, it's very important to start up when you, especially with the younger goalkeepers, to try to start with a boxing position. And after that, they can grow. My goalkeepers today that I work with, the only one that is having, I have two. Mikael Appelgren is having this position. And I have also a new guy, I'm working now in Norway, Emil, who is playing for Elverum. And he's also using this position. He's a tall guy, 195, 196. He's using this position. I didn't say that to him. He started with that without my advice. And a lot of other goalkeepers have started with it, but then they have developed their own style. A lot of them have been going up with the arms, like my goalkeepers with the Norwegian female team. They are not having this position, but they have always started with this, and then they found their own position. So I recommend you, if you have younger goalkeepers, to always start with the boxing position. Then we can see what the development is giving us. So if you look at this picture here, we can see, I will show you some videos now on different flowers. Goalkeepers, women and men's, that is having clearly different techniques, their own styles in the goal, but they are excellent goalkeepers. No one is repeating another one. They have found their own style, they're making their own way of saves, because they are feeling comfortable, they are feeling safe, and then they can concentrate on the shooter and on the play and what is really happening, and not concentrate on what they should do with themselves. Because if we have to concentrate on ourselves, on the position of my body, how I'm doing it, if my right arm is doing it well, my left arm, is it in the right position? We are not doing a good job as a goalkeeper. So let's see a little bit. I will show you two videos. One is from the World Championships in Japan, the women's, and we can look here. We have a goalkeeper from Serbia, Tomasevic, a very good goalkeeper. Not so very strong physically, what I know. I never seen her training, but I can see her style in the goal is a little bit of different. She's standing a little bit outside. Maybe he's not making the technique the right way, but it's very good to read where the ball is coming. Oh, sorry. I will go back. I will go. This is the problem sometimes with the videos. I will put it forward here, where we more or less where we were. I should not touch it. Sorry about that one. So here we are, Tomasevic making some saves. And as I said, look at the style, standing quite far out from the goal, and technically or physically not so very well prepared. Another goalkeeper that is an excellent goalkeeper, Sandra Toft from Denmark. She was playing an excellent World Championships. Look at the style of her when she's moving around. Look at the style of her arms, but she's very concentrated on the ball. She's looking, she's moving around, she's seeing what is happening. And when she can see that now the attack is really starting, now it's really happening something, then she starts to prepare herself. And she's very concentrated on what is happening on the game. And then she's using all her body to stop the balls. She's, like you can say, we see another picture from her, another sequence. And you can see in this sequence where the ball is just moving around, she's not doing anything. We can see a lot of goalkeepers there that is standing up, and now she's getting prepared for now she can see it's going to happen something. And she's having her own style, but she's feeling very comfortable to make the saves in this one. Standing, waiting for the shooter. Another goalkeeper that is not so high, Eckerle, German goalkeeper, a small one, but very quick. Also very smart. And you can see that she's putting up her arms in a position very high, because maybe she thinks that's good for her, because she's a little bit smaller and she's standing a little bit further out than other goalkeepers. But she's also using her weapons against the shooters, how to save the balls. Intelligent, as you can see on the wings, she is not making the traditional way of saving. Maybe the smallest top goalkeeper in the world is Silvia Navarro from Spain, 167, excellent goalkeeper, also very experienced and physically very good. But the main thing of her is that she knows that she's small and try to take advantage of that. Playing with her arms or the weapons that you have, that she knows that it's a lot of times space open up in the goal. And she wants the player to shoot there because she's using this strategy to save the ball. As the last one of the women goalkeepers, one of my own, Silje Solberg, who's playing in Hungary, in Gör, and in the Norwegian national team. And we've been working a lot in different techniques, in different positions, trying to keep calm. And as you can see, even if she's my goalkeeper, she's having the arms in a position a little bit higher. She started with a boxing position, but then she's been growing and saying, okay, I want to have them in this position. It's comfortable for me, and the ball is coming in a very high speed because we're talking at the top level in the world. And if you're not playing at the top level in the world, maybe it's not necessary to take the arms up in the air. So we have the last shots we can see on her, the small steps and the small movements, and where she's trying to be in the right position in the right moment. That is the key point for the goalkeepers. Two things: time and position. I can win against the shooter in two ways: to be in the right position in the right time. If I could be a little bit early, better than too late. Because if I'm too late, the shooter have an advantage. If I'm coming too early, no problem. I wait for the shooter, I make some small corrections to make a better position against the shooter. So we have to try to always think about, when we're playing as a goalkeeper, what is my advantages? Time and position. We should now also look at some goalkeeper from the men's world, top goalkeepers in the world, and I want to show them because they are totally different in style. Look at Milosavljev, who's playing in this time in the Fuchs Berlin. A goalkeeper that you can see has his own style of how he's working, his own technique, his own position, but he's very, very focused on the ball. Maybe not always the best technique. In goalkeeping, we don't have any prize to the nicest technique. What we have the prize is to the goalkeeper that makes the most saves and in the right time. And Milosavljev is one of the goalkeepers in the top of the Bundesliga in Germany. And he's playing excellent games for Fuchs Berlin. You can see that his style is nothing traditional. It's perfectly inside the flower bouquet with different flowers. Here maybe is one of the most famous goalkeepers in the world, and also one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Landin, who's playing in Kiel in Denmark, maybe technically the best goalkeeper in the world. And a lot of goalkeepers and goalkeeper coaches is trying to copy him. But the problem is that Landin is almost 2 meters and have almost 2 meters between the hands. And he has a lot of space that he can cover with his body without making any big movements. So the problem is for a lot of goalkeepers that try to copy him. When you are having 180 or 190 and you try to play as Landin, that is 2 meters. That's a big fault that a lot of goalkeepers are doing. If you want to see someone that you want to learn from, try to find one that is almost in your same size. Buric, another goalkeeper playing in Flensburg, totally different to Landin. Also top goalkeeper in the best league in the world. Very intelligent also, very smart. But as you can see, waiting, standing on the line, doing his work, his hands very far down, what I call a little bit like what in the old movies from the Wild West, in the movies from the United States in the 50s and the 60s. Like what we call in Spanish, pistoleros, when they with your hands very down. That is not, for a lot of goalkeeper coaches, not an efficient way of playing, no, but it's very efficient for him. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the best league in the world. So what can we say? Here we can look at we should finally look at two of my goalkeepers, Andreas Palika. Like I said in the beginning, if I had worked with him to try to make him a normal goalkeeper, then I didn't have the same goalkeeper and the same level that the Swedish national team is having, because he has to play the way he feels. He's feeling to play this way, very close to the line, and he's very physically, very strong and very powerful. He comes quickly close to the shooter. And one of the big things also for the goalkeepers, not only to save the ball, also to start the attacks. The last one to look at is Mikael Appelgren. The last one of my own goalkeepers also. So you can see what I work with him. He is what you can see on the picture, using the boxing style. He's 195, 196, a big goalkeeper. He is having a lot of muscles coming from genetically and also worked. But you can see that he likes to work in this way, and he's like to stand with this boxing style to save the ball the best way. And as I said, there's a lot of things that is important for the goalkeepers. One of them is to make a lot of saves. Another one is to make the saves in the big moments like this. 29, 57, one up for Sweden, and makes the last save in the last shot in the game. That is also very important for the mental part of the goalkeepers, to be in the best shape when we're coming to the end of the game, to make the most important saves to win the game. So as you can see, we have been looking, I think it's on 10 different goalkeepers, and we have seen 10 different styles of 10 top goalkeepers, 5 from the women's and 5 from the men's. And nobody of them are like roses. They are not put in the same way that some, sorry, that some goalkeeper coach has told them, you must play this way. No, they have had excellent goalkeeper coaches, and they've been working with their own style, and they have had the possibility to work with their own style that they feel comfortable. That is very, very important for you when you work with them. Sorry about that one. We should go further on before we take we should go on a little bit more before we take the break. But sorry, what I told you about the brain, like we started with, that is for me the most important thing, is what is happening inside the head of the goalkeepers. But there are also, of course, preparation before we come there. And if we want to be a good goalkeeper, we have to start with the physical part. The physical part is deciding my technical part. If I don't, to be a good goalkeeper, you have to be good prepared physically. Or in mobility, stability, flexibility, power, we should talk about that also. So, because that is deciding what kind of techniques I can use. If I have a bad physical preparation, I can't use so many different techniques because I'm limited in the technical training, because my physical preparation is not good enough. Then I am limited in the technical work. And if I'm limited in my technical work, I will then further on be limited in my tactical work. So all this is a chain. The most important is the head, to be a good goalkeeper, to read the game, read the shot. But if I don't have the 3 parts, the physical, technical, and tactical part prepared, starting with the physical, I won't reach this level that we all are hoping that the goalkeeper should reach. If we look to the physical training, sorry about the vehicle, it's physical training of the goalkeeper. The 5 pillars is like this: motor skills and coordination. And the motor skills and coordination could be, like we see on this picture, 2 of my goalkeepers are using eye-hand coordination. We use this a lot in the training. We use it before the games, to warming up, to be prepared for the games, because here we have a clearly advantage to start to work with the brain, with the eye and hand coordination. It's very interesting to say in the World Championship in Qatar 2015, the Men's World Championship, it was statistics made about the goalkeepers to see which part of the goal they were making more saves and less saves. And all the goalkeepers that was playing in the World Championships 2015 used the right hand as the dominating hand. They were using it as the part of the body that they use in the normal day work. If they want to brush their teeth, they were using the right hand. That was the dominating hand. And the result of the statistics on the World Championships was that it was more saves on the right side of the goal than to the left side of the goal. That means that the top goalkeepers in the world don't have the best motor skills and the coordination that they should be having. Because if they had the equal motor skills and coordination in the right hand and the left hand, it should be equal. Saves on the right side and the left side. But it wasn't. Not even the top goalkeepers in the world were having the perfect motor skills and coordination. They were better on the dominating hand and not so good and on the hand that it was not developed so well. So we can say we can start the 5 pillars that we need: the motor skills and the coordination. Then we need stability, because if you don't have stability in the body of then we can't be a goalkeeper. Stability, I will show you a picture later on. Where is the stability in the body? Which part of the body for the goalkeeper is necessary to have stability? But it's very important to work with the stability. Exactly the same as the mobility. Maybe not like this dancer, but a lot of my goalkeepers can almost do this, because a lot of styles, Nordic style for the saves on the long shots or the shot from long distance. On the floor, we want to use this technique, that we sit on the floor, putting one leg on each side to cover the most part of the game, the goal floor. You can see it clearly, for example, on Niklas Landin, Mikael Appelgren, all the goalkeepers that I'm working with in the top in the Nordic style are using this technique. And it's not only in that part, it's also very important in the 1-by-1 against the shooters from 6 meters line. It's the mobility. So we have to have stability and mobility. Then we also need power. Not everybody is 2 meters tall like Landin. If you are 2 meters tall and then you have 2 meters between your arms, the long span, then it's just, if you're a good position in the goal, maybe just half a meter to reach to the high corner. And for that, you don't need so much power. But I know that Landin is very well trained. He is excellent physically also, and he has a lot of power. But for the rest of the goalkeepers, it's even more necessary with power. And a lot of the goalkeepers, for example, in this case, Silje Solberg for the women's, we are working a lot with the power, especially on the legs, to reach the ball that is coming. But that is one thing that's happening in the women's handball and the men's handball. We have the same size of the goal, but a lot of times the goalkeepers in the women's handball, they're a little bit smaller. And if we talk about also like Palika, he has a huge kind of power in his legs for his style he's using. He needs power. So it's important that we have power to be a goalkeeper. And we need resistance. And then I'm talking a lot of specific resistance training or resistance for goalkeeper. I have had training with goalkeepers, but maybe they are not the best one when we go out running, because they don't need to be outside running to be a good goalkeeper. The resistance to be in the goal, to be making the specific movements as a goalkeeper, to be concentrated in 75, 80 minutes when you're playing a game, what it takes, and also the warming up and so on. It's what we should prepare the goalkeeper for. Maybe sometimes they should be out running also, yes, to have a physical condition, yes. But the most important, to have specific resistance for the goalkeeper. So this is the 5 pillars for the physical training of the goalkeepers. And that is one that we should put in the base before we go further on and talk about what is happening with the goalkeepers. I was talking about the mobility and stability. This is Michael Boyle's joint by joint approach. Michael Boyle is one of the greatest fitness trainers in the world. And he has been talking not only about goalkeepers in handball. I don't think he knows so much about that, but he is a very good fitness trainer. And a lot of goalkeeper, I've learned a lot from him. I learned from other trainers that is working with his systems and his thinkings. But what we can see here, he can show clearly that we need, for the goalkeeper, for example, we need a lot of mobility in the ankles where we move around. We need stability in the knees. We need a lot of mobility in the hips. Here it's very important for the goalkeepers and the mobility in the hips. And then we need a lot of stability in the back, or what we call the core. Not only the back, in the core. The abdominals, the muscles in the backs, the core. Because this is huge importance for the goalkeeper. I say always, the goalkeepers, it's to be the brain, and it starts from the core and downwards. Because we have to move around with the feet, we have to be very stable in the core to make the very good mobility in the hips and the shoulders to be in the right position with the arms or the legs to save the ball. So it's very important in physical training that we are training mobility, stability, mobility, stability, especially in this part. What we also need to be to prevent injuries, to be stable in the elbows. The elbows is a part that a lot of goalkeepers are having problems, especially the young ones, when they're growing and getting further up with the senior teams. They have a lot of times problem with the elbow. So we need to be stable working there, especially physical works. But this is a very good picture to show you what is important for the goalkeepers about the mobility and stability. Okay, I think this could be a moment, Matic, to make a small break.
Okay,
so
sure.
Then we can go further on, because now I think it's a good moment for me. Then I can take the break, and then we can continue with my presentation.
Okay. While we do the break, guys, please write the questions if you have them. So Mats will try to answer them after our short break. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, guys, do we have any questions? So far, I see only one. Mats,
Yeah, I
you
see.
can take the
Yeah,
screen.
I see the question here. I should read it. What do you think? Maybe, okay, I should compartir pantalla, share the square again. Once again, we go there. I can do that one first. Okay, we have that one. No, compartir, yes. Here we are now. What do you think
Good.
of the anticipation prediction, and what is the percentage of its impact on the goalkeeper? It is a process, subject of development, or is it a reaction? The anticipation prediction, I will come to that one. Everything that we do, almost everything that we do as a goalkeeper is anticipation, especially in the top level. When you're coming to the top level, if you want to play on reaction, you have a very low percent of savings. If you want to do something to be a good goalkeeper, you need to do a lot of anticipation, and it's different way to do that. Some bunch likes to do a lot of work before the games, studying videos. Someone likes to do a lot of work during the game, like Palika, for example. He's studying also the opponents, but he is playing a lot of on intuition, what he reads during the game, during when he reads the body language of the shooters. And that is what is the most complicated part for the goalkeepers, no? But I should try to answer this question during the rest of my presentation, and maybe we get a little bit closer to this part. Okay. Okay. I was here, and now we should see. Here we are. Oh, sorry. There we are. We can see this. I don't know if this will disappear. What I have upstairs. Okay. Está compartiendo la pantalla. Okay. Let it be there. I hope it goes away. What I'm showing here is a little bit my thoughts about the development of the goalkeepers. We can see here that I'm talking about physical preparation, technical preparation, and tactical preparation. The tactical preparation is in two colors, in red and blue. And the technical preparation is in green, and the physical preparation is in yellow. Here downstairs, we can see the ages, less than 12 years, more than 18 years. And here we can see the development during the years. What is happening here? And here we can see the saving percentage on this one, the blue one, and the goal percentage on the red one. What I want to show here is a little bit in some simple way, show something. When we get to the age of more or less between 13 to 16 years old, I don't know exactly, depends where we are in the world, the level of the players, if you're playing women, men's handball, development of the players, and so on. But somewhere between 13 and 16 years, we have a change. Before that, we can see that the goalkeepers have a very high saving percentage, and the shooters have a very low scoring percentage. But somewhere here between 13 and 16 years, everything changes. Why does it change? Because it changed because of the shooters are growing, the muscles are growing, the techniques are getting better, the ball is getting harder, better techniques to shoot, to put the ball where it wants to be in the goal, and makes life more complicated for goalkeepers. And during the younger ages, it's easy for the goalkeepers in some way to save the ball, with or without the technique, because the ball is coming slowly. It's not so very well collocated in the goal, and it could be very some way easy for the goalkeepers to save the ball. So what I propose it's before 12 years old, maybe we should not be working so much with the goalkeepers, more than what I say, physical preparation. Here from the 12, when we start to play handball, up to 13 years, there should be some physical preparation. But the physical preparation in this way is a lot of mobility, stability, motricity, and coordination. Nothing special with power, nothing special with resistance training, because young boys and girls, they don't need that. What they need to be well developed for coming for the next stages is in these ages, when we are around 12 years and younger than 12 years, to learn a lot about the motricity and coordination and mobility. This is what a lot of goalkeepers don't have good enough when we're coming to the next stage. And also say about the tactical preparation, the red one here is the tactical preparation is to just to let the goalkeepers play, put them to be in the goal, and don't give them too many advices. Let them play, let them feel how the ball is coming, because it's like I said, it's in some way easy for the goalkeepers to save the ball. Then we should not be there to give them too much advices, because then it could be putting something into their heads that will later on maybe should be working in a different way. Like I said in the flowers, let the goalkeeper be a flower in these ages, showing or her how to develop the motricity, the mobility, and the coordination. Let them play, and in the technical preparation, like I show here in the green one, should just be, in my opinion, the ground position of the goalkeeper, not the position in the goal, the position of the body. Like I said, the boxer position. If we should show the goalkeepers not to copy Landin, not to copy the big ones, the big stars, because then they are doing something that is not natural for them. They should be more preoccupied about saving the ball, the tactical preparation. This part they can do outside the goal. We can learn to them the technical preparation, that is how to be a goalkeeper in the ground position, starting with the boxing position, moving around, bouncing in your knees, bouncing in your hips, be in the right position where the ball is coming in front of the player. Small advices, and let the player play. But when we are coming closer to these ages, 13 to 16 years, we have to give them some more technical preparations. We should continue with the physical preparation, and then we maybe should get in with some more power training, because we have done a lot of work here with the mobility and the motricity and coordination. That should continue. But at these ages, from 14 to 18, maybe this is the most important ages when we should learn something about the techniques. Which techniques we can develop on this goalkeeper. I should come further on with that. And we can start with a tactical preparation, because we start with concrete technical advices from wing positions, from the position and breakthroughs, on the pivot position. And then we should also, in the same way, talk about the tactical preparation. And from 18 years and further on, when the goalkeeper is senior players, we should always continue with the technical preparation. Even today, with my oldest goalkeeper, we continue work with technical things, always trying to develop some new technical things. But the important thing is to learn the right things here in the 13 to 18 years, because when you're getting older, and that has happened a lot of times with me, I have to work with goalkeepers where I have to change the techniques, because they have learned some bad techniques that is not efficient, that is not good for a goalkeeper. And then we have to relearning, and that is very more complicated. But here we should always develop, try to find out new techniques, not change techniques. The best thing is we can learning new techniques from 18 years and further on. We should continue with the physical preparation, always with motricity. coordination, power, and resistance and everything. And we should continue, of course, with the tactical preparation. And I think the older we're getting, more important is with the tactical preparation. So this is a picture for me, simplicity, the way of I'm thinking how to develop the goalkeeper over the ages. Okay, if we look at these 4 stages then of the development, we start a lot of times what I call unconscious, and not what I'm calling. This is what we call them unconscious competence. This is when the goalkeeper started in the goal. First steps in the goal is when it copies all the idols. And this could be when they're 10, 11 years old. Or it could be before or later on. But it's when we start. We don't know anything about the being a goalkeeper. And here is one of the problems. We start to copy older idols, the senior ones. And like I said before, the senior one should stop balls that's coming 120 kilometers per hour. But the guys and the girls that start to play, maybe the ball is coming in 20. And it's not necessary to be standing like in goalkeeper that is a senior player. And the next level is the conscious incompetence. It's when we start with techniques and the goalkeepers can perform them, but they are not efficiently. They're doing the things, but they are not doing them right, and they are not feeling perfect. The next level is the conscious competence. The goalkeeper knows techniques and strategies, but they execute them thinking. And the goalkeeper that is thinking in the goal is not the best goalkeeper, because then it's not doing the movements smoothly to the ball. The brain in this part, when it's have to think about the technique, it's a slow one. It's a slow machine. We should need to reach the unconscious competence when techniques and strategies execute automatically. And there's no thinking. Everything goes more or less from the what the eyes are seeing directly to the arms without passing through the thinking part of the brain. But everything is doing automatically. That is what we are trying to do with the senior goalkeepers, that they should reach this level. The problem is what I said before, the conscious incompetence, where we start with techniques, but they can't perform them efficiently. This is what I say a lot of times where we start to work with young goalkeepers too early. They are not competent enough to start to work with techniques because they can't perform them. They are trying to do them because the coach or the trainer are telling them to do this or do that. But they have not been training what I said in the beginning, physical, technical, tactical. They are not physically enough prepared to work with a technique. For example, we can't start to work with a Scandinavian style of sitting technique on the long shots. To sit to save the ball on the floor. If I try to do that with a goalkeeper in the younger ages that are not prepared with the mobility and the stability, it will not be good. He or she will learn a technique that is not efficiently. It's not good for them. And then they will not be happy in the goal, and they will not be playing good. And maybe someday they stop to play as a goalkeeper because they are not feeling comfortable. So that is very important, that we don't start too early with the technique. And this part of the development of the goalkeeper, the conscious incompetence, is very dangerous if it started too early. But when you're getting up a little bit older, and we are in this level, we are talking about a level when we are passing by the 13 years old, 13, 14 years old, and we can start with the techniques. And we have developed a little bit more of the physical preparation with the motricity and mobility. And then I can compare a young goalkeeper with a guitarist who's playing And look at the guitarist when he's playing, what he's doing. He's looking at his hand. He's executing it, thinking. And it's exactly the same for a goalkeeper. The goalkeeper can't be looking at the hands, but it's almost looking at the hands. This young goalkeeper, nowadays it's a senior goalkeeper, but I think this picture is very good because she is she's a very good goalkeeper. She was a young talent, and she was a lot of thinking in the goal, just like this young but what we have to reach is this level, the unconscious competence. And here we have one of the best guitarists in the world ever, Paco de la Cia, former or Spanish guitarist that passed away a couple of years ago. He was maybe the best one, but if you look at him now, when on this photo, he's closing his eyes, he's getting into his own mind, and he's playing. The same as a goalkeeper at the top level. They're playing unconscious. They have the competence and they knew the technique and the strategy they should use automatically in each situation. Here showed by the picture of Silje Solberg playing with the national team of Norway in a game. In this moment when she's going to save this ball, she's not thinking. She just executed because she had reached this level, but we have to develop the goalkeeper to reach this level. But we can't go too good. We have to reach that step by step by learning them when they are in the physical level and the brain is in the level that we can continue to work with the techniques and then continue after that with the strategies. So it's a development that is have their own steps to reach this one. A lot of goalkeeper trainers, a lot of trainers start too early, in my opinion, with techniques and forget to with the physical preparation and the goalkeeper to learn by themselves the strategies to save the balls. So here's a little bit what I'm saying right now. In the stages of development, the conscious competence is here in this part when we are doing from a little bit getting closer to the 50% of saves and goals, where we have to start maybe 1 year before when we have made all the other preparation. Here we can start with the techniques, not here in the younger races. Here we can work and let the goalkeeper be thinking about the techniques. Not too early, not too late. In this part of the development of the goalkeeper, when they are about from 13 years to maybe 16 years, there is the part where we should work with the techniques that they can use in the future. Okay, if you continue, we can now look about the methodology to save the balls. That is a little bit about the question that was made before the break, no? The methodology to save the ball, it's in 4 parts in my way of looking at it. We start before the game to analyze the opponent. We can have some information in advance. A lot today is not so complicated because you can almost always find some videos and you can study the opponent you're going to play against. Or maybe it's someone you played a lot of times when you have a small league, not so a lot of teams, and you know you're going to play against the same players again, and you have an information in advance. That is one part that you should have. In this part of information, some goalkeepers use a lot of information in advance. I know goalkeepers I've been working with that needed at least 3 games on video to look at. Not only to look at, it's a difference between look and study. These goalkeepers were studying the shooters, movements, the trajectories, in which way are they coming, when are they coming, and further on. And in the same way, we need to have handball knowledge as a goalkeeper. Because when I do the analyze as a goalkeeper, and I should play against an opponent, I should know some basic about handball. And the basic about handball is to know a little bit of movements of handball, how the games are playing. And today in the modern handball, maybe we can say that at the top, maybe there are 15 different movements that is used. And from these 15 different movements, each team is making some small changes. But if I, as a goalkeeper, can have this handball knowledge that if he's been making a cross from the center back to the pivot, then I should know a little bit what is going to happen. What is the possibility? What will happen right now? I can, every time it's a shot, it can't be a surprise for me. That is for me what I call handball knowledge. Analyze the opponent and have handball knowledge. The next thing is when I go into the game. I have no knowledge about handball because I'm trained with my own team. I know what a cross between the center back and the pivot is. I know what a cross between what will happen when you make a cross between the center back and the back player. All that knowledge I have. Then I go to the game. I need to read the game. As I show you in one of the pictures, is to read the defense and the attack. To read the defense and attack, like you saw also and in the videos, a lot of goalkeepers, they read the defense and attack and they say, okay, now it's nothing happening. I don't going to take any effort out of myself right now because nothing going to happen. But in a moment when the attackers start to make some movements, I start to prepare to read the game. And here I can see clearly a lot of goalkeepers that is better than other ones. Not only to read the game, but better to save the balls. Because here is what I said before, to the part that we can talk about winning time or space. Because if I can read the game, I can go to right place in right time before the shooter is coming there. But if I don't read the game, and I don't read the defense, and I don't read the attack, then it's almost a surprise every time. Oh, they're coming here. And then it's coming, running to be in the situation, and I'm coming late. So in this moment, I have to have some strategies. As a goalkeeper, when they're breakthrough, they're coming in the wing shooters or whatever they're coming, I need to have strategies. Where should I be? Where is my best position against this player? Is the player a tall one? Or is it jumping high like Luca Balou? Okay, maybe I should be in this position. Or is it a small one? Maybe I should be in another position. Is it a lot of time that this player is moving sidewards? Maybe I should be prepared for that. That is the read the game and goalkeeper strategies. The next part is the read the shot. Then with the goalkeeper need techniques. And what we are doing here is we read the body language of the shooter. And this is one of the biggest part also for the goalkeepers, how to read the body language of the shooter. Like I said in the beginning, just to see a ball coming out of a machine, you don't have any signals where the ball is coming. So that is one part. For example, some goalkeepers use machine to shoot the balls. So this is okay. Sometimes when you want to train the techniques, but it's not giving any development of the goalkeeper brain to read the body language of the shooter. That is what we call the experience, that the goalkeepers can read, start to read. If the shoulder is forward, a lot of shoulder there, where is the other hand when I'm not shooting? Is it, if I'm a right-hander, is the left hand, where is the position of that one? To read the body language of the shooter. Not also if he's getting forward, jumping upwards, and so on and so on. And there we are working with the techniques for the goalkeepers to read the shot. And the last part is the focus. The focus on the arm and the ball. And I'm going to show you a good picture of that one, because here we have Katrina Lunde in a situation, 1-against-1 against the player who is making a breakthrough and getting in a 1-against-1 situation against our goalkeeper. But look at Katrina Lunde here, my goalkeeper in the Norwegian national team, how she is focused. I can, if we had these glasses that we can use today, eyeglasses, you can put the glasses on the goalkeeper and you can see what this goalkeeper is focusing on. And that is the next step for me to develop my goalkeepers, to use these glasses. But I'm sure that she's looking not only on the ball, she's looking at this shoulder. This shoulder is telling her a lot of where she's going to get the ball. This shoulder is telling her a lot where the ball is coming, and this elbow is telling her a lot where the ball is coming. So it's not only to focus on the ball, it's also to focus all over the body language of the shooter. And you can see on her eyes that she's very focused and very concentrated on where the ball or of the player, the whole body language of the player. So that is an important part. Okay, so if we should train this, so the methodology of goalkeeper training for me is to start with simple technique training. And that is what a lot of goalkeepers are doing almost all the days. We are training a lot of simple technique training. And that is what is that? That is 100 controlled shots, visible shooters and shots. I can show you some examples here. When we have, for example, here to the left, an exercise where we're training breakthroughs, back players passing the center back, getting the ball back and make a breakthrough between the third and the second defender. And we're telling him to shoot in the long corner. And the goalkeeper should go out and save the ball. What is happening here? We have an exercise where the goalkeeper have 100% controlled shots and 100% visible shooters and shots. It's when we're training simple technique training. It's not only back shots from the long distance. We can also train this on when we have breakthroughs, or we can have it for wing shots. In this case, I make an exercise. For example, if I have some goalkeepers that need to develop some technique from the wing shots, and for me, it's very important that not only train the shot from the wing, it's also important to train the goalkeeper, the movement before they come to the position, to find the right position. If I stand in the right position here all the time and the shooter is coming, then I don't train all the way, all parts of the goalkeeper training. So if I want to have a simple technique training, I always want the goalkeeper to first make a movement, find a position. In this case, I make the central players pass to one of the side backs, and the side backs have to make a long pass, and then the wing shooter shoots. And then I can decide, okay, we should train on the technique in the middle height and the long corner. That we should training the goalkeeper to save by a short kick. You should save the ball with a kick with your right knee. So, but the goalkeeper has to be first prepared here, looking at this person. When the ball is coming here, he must make a small correction. And when the ball is getting all the way over to the wing, he has to find the right position, and then we make the shot. And then we say the shot should be in this place. He has to train the goalkeeper. And that is the simple way of training technique. And that could be the younger, and sometimes also with the older ones. When I want to train a new technique, I can use this technique training. What I use a lot is the next part, cognitive technique training. What does that mean? That I mean I give the shooters options, or I have hidden shots. I make it more real. I make it real, more like the daily training. And I will show you here an example of this. I use a lot of these dolls. You can use also different parts of mats, and you can use players and so on. But here is a simple exercise when we are shooting here. So I can say, we are making a pass, and then if they're shooting on one side, they should shoot there. On the other side, they should shoot there. If they go for crosses with the middle one, they should make a cross. So the goalkeeper has always to be using the brain also. This is like real life. If I have a good defender and a shooter is coming on this side, the ball will be coming here. Okay, let's see a little bit what is happening here. As you can see, from different way, they make a pass, they make a shot, and everything is depending, or if they're shooting on which part of the dolls they're coming. that is what I call a cognitive training. Now we make a change of that. The first one was a warming up exercise, but we are warming up not only the body, we are also warming up the brain. The goalkeeper has to be focused to see what's really is happening. And this next one, we are making the same exercises, but now they have to shoot low. And they have to wait. This passer has to look at the goalkeeper to wait and see that she's ready. And the goalkeeper has to see if the shooter is coming to the left, to the right, or all over to make the cross. All this position has to be prepared for the goalkeeper. We are training now, warming up, training techniques for low shots. And then the third part, also the cognitive that I wanted to show you, a new part, is when we make what we said. Here we have different options. It could be a shot, and it could be a pass to here for the wing shots or a breakthrough. You can look at the exercise. It's not only one kind of shots. We make a pass, the player can shoot, the goalkeeper has to be prepared for a shot. And then come another one, make a pass, and we have a breakthrough. And now we have a shot from the other side. The goalkeeper has to be prepared for all the options. Now, not only there, like a game. And here we can also say, in all these situations, different kind of shots, so the goalkeeper have different options to train on. So this kind of cognitive goalkeeper training is the most part that I use with my senior goalkeepers. For example, when this is the preparation this summer for the Olympics, we use this a lot because this was not the moment to work with simple technique training. I work with simple technique training in special parts in the year, but preparation for the Olympics or for big tournaments, we use a lot of this kind of training, the cognitive technique training. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit, explain it here, what I mean. This here a little bit to the left is a little bit what I was saying. I don't have dolls here, but I have mats that they're putting up or standing up. And here we can make a simple training, just one passage, and the shooters have to come to the right or to the left and shoot straight. And that is for the goalkeeper. They have the best defender in front of them, because if they are shooting to this part of the mat, the ball is coming to this part. And that is very important for the goalkeeper to react on the shooter when it's if it's coming to the left or to the right. And it's not possible to make a cross shooting. They should always shooting straight. That is in this part of training. Another exercise that I use is, for example, this, and I show in the middle. I have a pass from the wing player to a back player. It's coming, shooting in the middle. And that shooter can shoot free. But it's not free because he has to decide before he's shooting. Normally we say to the shooter, don't decide too early where you shoot, look at the goalkeeper. But in this case, we do the opposite. I say to the shooter, you have to take a decision before you shoot, and then you have to shoot where you have decided. Even if the goalkeeper goes right, because this is the way for me to the goalkeepers to try to learn the body language of the shooters. To learn if the shooter is having the shoulder forward, the elbow up or down, the arm up or down, where the ball is coming. So that is one way of training cognitive body language training. And then after that shot, we're making a pass to the wing players. And then we have three options. If they take the small angle, the goalkeeper have to find the right position for the small angle, and then maybe it's a free shooting. The goalkeeper should make as less movements as possible. And then in the middle, we can decide the option could be up to the right or down to the left. Two options. And to the third one, the big angle, we can decide, okay, what is happening in this one? Normally, it will be in the long corner. Then we said, okay, you can shoot where you want in the long corner. So here the goalkeeper has to be cognitive training. First to read the shooters, and then the cognitive training is to see if he's jumping from the small one, from the middle, or from the long, and then make a quick decision how to act. And the third one is a very development of the first one. We have two shots shooted from the behind, and then we have also a second shot from a pivot player that we can decide. So this is a cognitive technique training, and that is the training that I most use in the senior level. The next level is reading the shot. What we were talking in the other one, body languages of the shooters, situations with choice, shot or pass, for example, small game situation, 2 against 2, 3 against 3. We can see it here. This to the left, we can see we make a pass, and we have a defender here that have to make a movement, go around, and then we have a shooter coming in that can make a shot or pass to the pivot. And this defender has to make the not standing waiting, because that is not normal. In the game, all the defenders is always moving around, have more than one job to do. They don't have to just to work with one player, they have to work at least with 2 players. So the players has to be here, come maybe a little bit late into the situation, and the goalkeeper has to read the situation. Will it be a shot from distance? Is this player coming in time? Oh, sorry. Should go back there. Here we are. She's coming back. So if this player is coming in enough time, so that it will be a pass to the pivot, then I ask as a goalkeeper, we need to be closer. And if it's coming a shot and this defender is helping me, I had to be prepared to read the shot with using this the help of this defender. And then I make a second shot like before from the wing shooters. And then what I'm doing is reading the shot, situations with choice, trying to help the goalkeeper to train the situation, if it be a shot or pass to the pivot. And in the same time, in the second way, try to read the body language and the development of the shooter, if it's coming from a small corner or from a long corner. And we can also create small game situations. And then I want to, almost the most of the time, the attackers to be in advantage, to have an advantage, because I want a lot of shots on the goal. I want to, for example, play 3 against 2, and they can maybe make maximum 3 passes between the back players, and they have to pass the pivot or to shoot or make a breakthrough. And then the goalkeeper has to train to reading the shot, to reading the game, what is happening here, if it will be a penetration, if it will be a breakthrough, if it will be a pass to the pivot, or if it will be a shot from a long distance. And all that situation is game situations. In the game situations, small game situations, if we can create this, we can have 5 shots in 1 minute, and not 1 shot in 1 minute if we have all the 6 players there. So this is to try to help the goalkeeper to have a lot more of possibility to train during the game or during the training what will happen in the games. And here it's very important that we as goalkeeper coaches is communicating with the goalkeeper. This is my job. My job is here to be here, to communicate with the goalkeeper, to ask him, when we make 3 or 4 shots, we can make a change. He comes out, and we can talk about, why did you go forward? Why didn't you go there? How did you think there? What was, when you're doing it good, give feedback. That was a good strategy. And when it's not doing so good, ask them, why did you choose this one? Why did you think it was a pivot? Going past the pivot. What did you read? That is the important part of the goalkeeper to coaches to be in that situations, to help the goalkeepers to read the shots. And the last one is the reading the game, situation during the game. What is happening here? That we are playing the games, and or in the training we are playing not small game situation, 3 against 3, 4 against 4, but we are playing 6 against 6. And we are coaching them. We are helping them to develop, and we are making these questions especially during the training. No, reading the game. What I said, now it's coming across with a back player for the pivot. What is happening? What is your position? What are you thinking will happen now? Try to develop that part. Try to develop the experience for the goalkeeper to be in that situations. So, if we look at this in one way, in one slide, and we can see what I'm talking about, the methodology of goalkeeper training. We are talking about simple technique training. We can use that. I use it. But it's very important also to say that if I want to put in some new techniques in the goalkeeper, senior goalkeeper, it's not so good option to do that when you are in a competition situation. Because what is happening if I want to put in some new techniques in a competition situation, what will happen is that the goalkeeper will be thinking about the new technique, and the goalkeeper that is thinking is slow. So we have to find the breaks when it's not competition season, when we want to make some put in some new techniques for the senior goalkeepers. I can train some simple technique training with my goalkeepers if they are saying, I have some problem with this technique. It's not working for me. I don't know what it is much. Can you help me? Okay, we make exercises. We have some simple technique exercises, and I can look at them and I can say, okay, now I know what it is. You should be making one step forward. You can make a little bit quicker with the knee. Maybe you should take the left foot a little bit more open. Then it's simple technique training, and we can make small changes. But it's very important when we're training with the younger ones to train the simple technique training. When we're doing, they know where the ball is coming, and we can develop the techniques that they should be using for all their life as a good goalkeeper. The cognitive technique training, as I said, where the shooters have options, hidden shot. This is the training that I use almost always in the warming up situations for the goalkeepers. I want them not only to warm up technically or physically, I want them to warm up also cognitively. And like I said, reading the shot is a lot of times in the training when we are doing the training with the head coaches and the coaches. And we are preparing the training. We are always talking about now after the warming up the goalkeepers, we will do this and these exercises. And then I know what will happen, and I will be coaching the goalkeepers. No, and in the last part is what we sometimes also in the game, in the training, we do it especially a lot in the Norway, make small games in the game situation, not game situation. We make small games, 2 times 7 minutes, 2 times 10 minutes in the games, that we should be developing the players, no? Reading the games, and there is where I am coaching the goalkeepers. I'm there always, almost all the times, talking with them. What's happening? What were you thinking? How could you do it better next time? Is there any other strategy, other technique you can use? Helping them to take the right decisions and try to develop them that way. Okay, we are going to the end of my presentation. I want to open it up for the last 15 minutes, more or less, for questions, so we can discuss. And I also just want to say here some of the material that I use. I use, like you can see here with my goalkeepers, the hand plates that you put on the hands with the ball, that is a hand coordination. We use Indiakas a lot for the working also with the coordination, motricity. And we use this kind of air bodies. And all these materials you can order if you want to have it from this mail, mi1sportsorder@gmail.com. It's Matthias Andersson, my goalkeeper, former goalkeeper, who is now also goalkeeper coach, working with Kiel and the German national team, that is having a small shop that is selling this kind of material. So if anyone is interested of this type of material to work with the goalkeepers, just send a mail to Matthias at mi1sportsorder@gmail.com, and he can help you with that one. And for me, I would say thank you. And that is my mail address, my personal mail address. If someone is interested to send some kind of questions or something that you want to know about goalkeeper or so whatever, maybe I can answer that way also. But I hope that we can make some questions here right now. I will stop the presentation and not share anymore with you and go to see if there is any question that you're writing, or the interpreter maybe can help us with some questions and we can do it live so everybody can listen to the questions. I think that's the best way, no? So thank you very much for having your patience and you have been listening so far. Okay, here I am and live. I can see in the chat if there is any more questions. Okay, I need some
Ahmed
help.
will translate you the questions right now. Ahmed, can we hear you?
I can't hear Ahmed.
No, not yet. No. We have one option here, Mats. You have a interpretation section on the right bottom corner, and you can choose English version. So we will hear him.
Okay,
I'm still on the interpreter.
Okay, so we can.
Matthias,
Matt,
can you hear me
him?
now?
Yes, I can hear you.
He can't hear because you have assigned the interpretation thing. You have to. I don't know how to become as a panelist.
I can't hear him. I put.
Yes, now
I
it's
just
okay. Can you
ended
hear me?
interpretation, so I can hear you.
Now I can hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But okay, I had Achraf send me here. Could you talk about the relation between the defender and the goalkeeper and how you work on it? Okay, I can take that one first. That is written here.
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry, Matt. That was the first question. Was the main advantages of choosing a goalkeeper? I'm sorry, the questions are gone, deleted because I was readmitted again, so I don't see the chats. But that was the first question. What are the main advantages? Not advantage, the main factors to choose, how to choose a goalkeeper. If you have these players, 10 players in front of you, how will you choose them? Based on what? Which one is the best one to select as a goalkeeper?
Yeah, I know that question a lot of times is coming, and I say I was making a speech to Korea for not so long time ago, and they asked the same, how to choose. And I say my answer is not, you should not choose. It's the person that should choose to be a goalkeeper. The most important of everything is that the player want to be a goalkeeper. The problem is a lot of times that we think that we have to choose, and sometimes, of course, I have to choose if there are too many players that want to be a goalkeeper. But a lot of times the problem is not that they want to be a goalkeeper, but we try to say that you should be a goalkeeper. But if we have that situation, the first of all the things, try to choose the goalkeeper that want to be a goalkeeper, because it's the most important thing, whatever you do in the world, that you want to do it, not that anyone you propose you to do it. But if we should propose anyone, then we should look a lot of the motricity, the coordination, the mobility. A lot of times you can see the goalkeepers that have good coordination, good mobility, and good coordination. That is the most important pillars when we see the young goalkeepers, because if they want to develop to be a good goalkeepers, they need these skills from the beginning. So it's not so important to choose the most tallest one, the largest one. No, the one, first of all, that they want to be a goalkeeper, that is interested to be in a goal, and then the skill should be motricity, coordination, and mobility.
اوكي شباب، الجواب باختصار هني موضوع معايير انتخاب او اختيار الحارس المرمى. النقطة الرئيسية اللي ركز عليها هو ان اللاعب اولا هو من يريد ان يكون الحارس، مو الموضوع اني انا اجي اختار من هو افضل حارس. رقم واحد، الرغبة تأتي اولا الى اللاعب، هو من يرى نفسه يريد ان يكون حارس. لكن المشكلة تقع وين؟ لما نشوف عندنا عدة لاعبين يريدوا كلهم يبون يصيرون حراس. مني المعايير المهمة اللي يجب أن نستخدمها هي المهارات الرئيسية اللي تطرقنا لها في المحاضرة اليوم، اللي هي عبارة عن الموتور سكيلز والكوردينيشن سكيلز والموبيليتي سكيلز. نشوف مدى تمكن وإلمام هذا اللاعب اللي يبغى يصير حارس من هذه المهارات. هذا باختصار الجواب المدرب اليوم. The second question، اعتقد هذه الاجابه جاوبت نفس السؤال ترى. المين ادفانتج اوف choosing goalkeeper، سوري عفوا، اللي هو الفاونديشن. السؤال the second question: what is the best way for the goalkeeper and the time being to cooperate with his teammates, the defenders who are doing the block? Shall he take one angle and as a goalkeeper, and then or take two angles?
Yeah, it's today in modern handball, this is very complex. But for me, to take it in a simple way, is to say the goalkeeper is the last one in the goal. The defender is between the shooter and the goalkeeper. So the decision how we work is always on the goalkeeper. For me, the important thing what we are working on is try to do to help the goalkeeper that the shot is coming straight. So if I am as a goalkeeper can see that the shooter is on the left side of the defender, the shot should be coming on the left side of the goal. And if he is on the right side of the defender, the ball should be coming on the right side of the defender of the goal. That is the main part. Then if we are talking, for example, in situations from the wings and from the breakthroughs and so on, then it's very complicated today, because if any defender touch the shooters when they're making a breakthrough or wing shots, then it's you're not allowed to touch them, because then it's very complicated, you know. So when we're talking about helping the goalkeeper, it should be a lot of times with the back players. And the problem for the goalkeeper is not only to see if the ball is coming to the left or to the right. The big problem is to see which defender is helping me. For a lot of times, it's not so easy when you're standing as a coach in the side of the game looking. Because when you stand on the side, it's not the same point of view as when you stand behind the shooters. Because sometimes it could look like a defender number 3 is helping you, but it really is number 2 that is helping you. So the decision I have to take is to which of the defenders is helping me. And from that, I have to see, trust on my defender that the shot is coming straight. That is the main part. Then we have a lot of small things that we can work on and we are working on. And that will be another speech another day, because that is a long talk, also a lot of tactical, strategical work. But the main part, the easy part, is to say the goalkeeper has to decide which one is helping me, and that one who's helping me has to help me that the ball is coming straight.
طبعا هذه الحالة اللي بالنسبة حق هذا السؤال تعرفون شو وضع نوعا ما معقد في كرة اليد المعاصرة هذا اليومين. أهم ما في الموضوع كله احنا نعرف أن الحارس هو آخر شخص راح يواجه الكرة، راح الدفاع يكون قدامه، وطبعا الرامي راح يكون هو الأول. من المهم جدا أن أثناء التنسيق مع حائط الصد أو مع الدفاع أن نحاول نحد المهاجمين أو المهاجم عفوا عند الرمي أن الكرة تأتي إلى الحارس بشكل مستقيم، أو أنه يعرف الكرة سواء كانت جت من جهة اليمين أو من جهة اليسار، أن الكرة تجي له على شكل مستقيم بحيث أنه يستطيع التخمين ويستطيع صدها بكل سهولة. في حال وجود الرمية أو الرامي أو المهاجم من الأجنحة، هذا وضع معقد جدا، لأن إذا لمس أحد افراد الدفاع راح يتعقد الوضع اكثر. واللي اهم من هذا كله، من الضروري والمهم جدا ان الحارس يعرف مع من اللاعبين المدافعين اللي راح يساعده. هذا الموضوع جدا مهم، لان في النهايه اللي يهمنا محاوله الضمان او التاكيد او بشكل او ما ان المهاجم عندما يقوم بالتسديد الكره تكون جايه له بشكل مستقيم فتساعده على الصد. This is the questions so far. There was one in English, I think, in the Q&A, I believe.
I see there's one new one down there in Arabic, no?
Oh yes, sorry. This is the same question. سؤال هو العكس. أغلب اللاعبين لا يرغبون. He says most of the players is similar to the first question. Most of the players don't like, or they try to avoid to be a goal keeper. So what should I, especially with the young fellas, what can I do to motivate them, or to motivate at least any one of them, to encourage them to be a goalkeeper?
Yeah, that's you know, this is a lot of time with the culture and tradition, no? Because, for example, in my country, in Sweden and so on, the big heroes in a lot of sports like football, or we play also ice hockey, and also wherever you have a goalkeeper, in our culture, it's the hero is the goalkeeper. So, you know, it's, I think to start there, the hero is the goalkeeper. To be a goalkeeper is something important, no? So I think it's something to start with in cultural tradition to show the importance of the goalkeeper, no? And let the goalkeepers be a little bit of the stars of the teams to feel comfortable, no? I can understand that sometimes it's problems to make someone to go into the goal, but my own experience is just this, that when I once started to be a goalkeeper, a lot of times we start as a field player, no? And I, by myself, I started as a field player. Then I was into the goal and said, this is much more fun, because here I could be all the times. I could be activated, no? If I'm a field player, I can shoot every 5 or 6 times, because the other, my partner should also shoot. But as a goalkeeper, you're active all the time. So I think it's the more funniest place to be, you know. But maybe it could be also helping them with this kind of simple technique training, that you can be a little bit not to be afraid of the ball that is coming. No, a lot of times your body is not developed, and the shooters, when they're getting a little bit more with muscles, and they're getting to 14, 15, 16 years old, it could not be so funny to be a goalkeeper, because you have a lot of balls that is hitting you hard, no? But you can work with balls that it's not so, what we call street handballs, that it's not so much air in them. You can work with techniques, like it's simple techniques, that you should be shooting in simple places. So I think the most important is to try to tell them the importance of the goalkeeper, that you're a hero if you're a goalkeeper.
الوضع طبعا يعتمد على الثقافة. احنا عارفين، احنا يمكن ثقافتنا هني في الشرق الأوسط بشكل عام قد تختلف نوعا ما مع الثقافة في أوروبا. طبعا في أوروبا يتكلم عن الثقافة اللهوجية، منها المدرب يقول عندما يشاهدون مباريات مثل كرة القدم، كرة اليد، أيا كانت، دائما ينظر إلى الحارس هو البطل، هو بطل المباراة، يعني هو اللي يمنع أقل عدد من الأهداف أو ما يكون ذلك، هو السند أو ظهر الفريق. هذا فيما يخص فهم الثقافة، ثقافة اللاعبين اللي قاعد نلعب وياهم أو اللي قاعد ندربهم. التدريب طبعا يقول هو نفسه الأستاذ مات قبل لا يكون حارس كان لاعب فيلد، كان يلعب في الملعب اساسا، يعني قبل لا ينتقل ويجرب خبره الحراسه ويصير حارس مرمى. يعني هناك طرق كثيره ممكن فيها تشجيع الاطفال او في سن مبكره، تشجيعهم على عدم الخوف مثلا. يمكن اكثر شيء تخوفون من عنده يقول موضوع صد الكرات لتكون قويه جدا، خصوصا اذا كانوا بعض اللاعبين يكون عندهم حاله جسمانيه قويه فيرمون كرات قويه، فهذا اكثر شيء يخوف الشخص. او الطفل عندما يكون حارس مرمى. طبعا بالتعويد وبالتمارين، تسديدات من زوايا مختلفة، تجربة الشيء ممكن تساعد هذا الطفل او اللي يلعب في سن مبكرة انه يجرب شعور انه يكون حارس مثلا يعني. And that is the answer of the question. شباب أحد عنده أي أسئلة أخرى رجاء اكتبوها لي هنا على ال Q&A أو على الشات بوكس وراح أجاوب عنها. Yeah.
Okay,
So far,
so
no questions.
now here is the chat. We have something there. Is there anything at the foundation? What are the main for the goalkeeper selection process? Okay, it was the same there, no? Okay. So if there are no more questions, I say thank you once again, and I hope you're still awake.
Yes, I'm knocked off. I'm knocked off myself. I don't know about the rest.
No, it has been my pleasure to be here, and I hope I'm not giving answers directly, but I
Matt,
think
sorry.
I want to put some ideas in your thinking of training and how to develop the goalkeepers and put the information behind, not put the exercises, because copying exercises is not making a better trainers. No, what we have to develop is the trainers that make the exercises by themselves and try to invent what is good for their own goalkeepers. So I hope that this has been the message that I want to give you, and I hope that is what you have reached. So thank you very much once more time, and I hope to see you.
Mr. Matt, sorry to interrupt you. There is one last question. Could you talk about the relation between defender and the goalkeeper and how you work on it?
Yeah, that's what we answered before about the straight shots and so on, the relation between them. So, or the relation is that a part of the strategical work on how they should be shooting is also the strategically. I want my goalkeepers to be the bosses of the defenders. I want them to be the persons that talks directly to the defenders. If they want it to be a little bit harder, if they should be go further on, if they should let the player come between the first and second, or whatever. That is the development, also the work between the goalkeeper and the communication with the defenders. No?
العلاقة ما بين اللاعب طبعا أو الحارس مع خط الدفاع هو يحب دائما تطوير الاستراتيجية أو تطوير حتى العلاقة بين الحارس والدفاع هي عن طريق أن الدفاع يستمع إلى توجيهات الحارس في أي موقع كان. يعني سواء كان حارس قال غطي لي هالمنطقة غطي هذا، فيجب أن يستمعوا له بشكل جيد ويكون في تواصل فعال effective وefficient وكفاءة جدا ما بين الحارس أثناء ما يعطيهم الأوامر إذا يحتاج تغطية معينة لتطوير هذه الاستراتيجية عشان يضمن أن المهاجم لما يرمي الكرة يسددها تجيب بالطريقة اللي هو يتوقعها من دون أي مفاجآت. شرح هذا يعني في السؤال السابق. That's it.
That's it. So okay. I think we said done, no?
Thank you, Matt, for being with us. Really, we appreciate it. I hope we'll see you again, maybe in person. That would be the best option. We hope next year we can all meet. And really, it was great today. Thank you.
الأخوة والأخوات الأفاضل، إذا ما عندكم أي أسئلة كانت محاضرة رائعة جدا. إذا كان أتمنى نراكم غدا إن شاء الله، وهذا كل ما لدينا اليوم، ونتمنى لكم ويكند سعيد هنا من البحرين من الخميس. It's weekend in Bahrain. Thursday last day of work. Tomorrow is a Friday. I don't know about their plans for tomorrow. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. So
thank you.
Have a good weekend. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Ahmed. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.